All right, I guess now that Christmas is come and gone, we better get back to work. I just ordered this set of door panels from, believe it or not, rockauto.com. They're just over $100 delivered, and they are the nicest aftermarket door panels I've seen. Anyway, so I'm pulling the motor out of the 67. As you remember, I had the motor out of my Puma in there. So the first thing I'm doing is tearing it down, take the deck lid off so I can get all the top end of it off, because I don't want to try and pull the motor out complete with the Cadron carburetors. It'll never come out. I've got another motor in here hidden, which is going to go in it. So first thing we're going to do is get the other one out. But I'm going to clean this one up as best I can, paint the tins, paint the shroud, put an alternator on it, and new exhaust, and get it cruising. And then we'll get in here and get all these door panels put in. And I got carpet coming in the next day or so. So we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. All right, so to get you caught up, I've got, like I said, deck lid off, hinges off, and the air cleaner's exhaust manifold, linkage and fuel lines. So I've got to get back in here and reach those. And my easiest way to do that is going to be simply pulling them loose. All right, I'm not going to really be able to do that with the camera in my hand without making too much of a mess. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the fan belt off of this. The coil, distributor cap, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to clear the whole top of the motor off, pull the shroud off, and then take a look at it. So give me a few minutes, I'll be back. All right, first set of nuts and washers are loose. Let's make sure we can find them all so we don't have any surprises later down the road. All right, the washer is going to be a little bit tougher. Let's see if I can do that. And there we go, I got the two washers up. All right, there goes number one. All right, I had a little issue back here reaching this back nut here on number 3. So I pulled the shroud off and made it a lot easier on myself. All right, let's see if we can get those two washers. And here goes number 2. All right, I'm climbing underneath, take out the exhaust, and then we'll drop this motor. All right, the exhaust is out, shroud's out. I'll go ahead and pull all the bolts off. I'm not going to take the oil cooler off. I don't need to. All right, so I'm going to get into there and loosen the bolts for the motor. All right, at some point, I guess the motor's ready to come out. Nice and slow. And here it comes. All right, I'm gonna get this one on the cart and we're gonna put it aside and we're gonna get the motor mounts changed on this. I should say the transmission mounts. Because as you can see, they're fried, and I just didn't do it when I had the motor out before, but I knew that this motor wasn't gonna be in here too long. All right, so got a few things going on now. All right, I was just getting ready to slide the motor in and I forgot I hadn't done the motor mounts yet. That was the same problem I had before. So we went ahead and took care of that. I'm just gonna tighten everything up and we're gonna go and slide that motor in. All right, with the help of one of these little empty carts, motor is in, top bolts are in. Now you just gotta climb underneath there and get the bottom in. Maybe do a little sweeping first. Okay, the motor's in. All the engine bolts are tightened down. I changed out the alternator stand. Just put this regular kind of breather down spout for now. So, a buddy of mine just gave me a while ago, this old school single quiet. It's been sitting on the side of the house, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Try and save some money on exhaust until I figure out what I want to use. And I didn't have a regular regular bug fan shroud, so I'm going to go ahead and use this 36 one that I have laying around. The heater's hooked up to everything. But we're going to go ahead and fit this in here. Alternator strap back on. All right, gotta tighten that up. Gonna get the carburetor put back on. We are gonna run the accelerator cable line back through. Put the coil distributor. We gotta dig up a few parts, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now while this is all sitting here ready to go. The wiring is gonna be a breeze. There. And the other one's right here. Okay, we've got to find that nut. Hope it did not go down the intake manifold. Oh boy. I have a feeling it went down the intake manifold, people. Oh boy, we are in trouble. All right, we might have a nightmare here. Oh, man, I can't believe it. Okay, so I made this little tool to try and get in there. and find this nut that I lost, and I couldn't, so I pulled the intake manifold off carefully, and there it is. And even the washer even fell in there. So I almost gave up, but I decided to take it off. Okay, after a slight delay, dropping the nut down the intake, it's time to put the carburetor back on. Some of the disadvantages of trying to work one-handed with a phone in your other hand. All right, so carburetor's on, I put the distributor on, alternator's on, spins, no rubbing. I'm gonna go ahead and get the coil put into place. Wiring is just like so. All right, getting close. All right, all this put back together. We did a little static timing, cranked it over. There's no gas in it. I poured a little bit in the carburetor and we got it to fire up, which I knew it would. So we're gonna move on to the next step. I'm gonna take it off the jack stands right now, just so we can get some gas flowing in there and be able to let this thing idle for a while. Okay, let's try that. We have gas in it, everything hooked up, ready to go. I know it's gonna start, but why not just fire it up?